in love machine. I wasn't going to come live tonight, but might as well. It's too much. I just got driven online by witnessing a clip of an interview with Les Schwab. And he's shaking too, just like Bill Gates. He's shaking right now because they know their screwball way of organizing things is falling apart. Like, at least they're pushing right now for the digital identity, which is not safe. It's not reliable. Can't function on municipal rollout regionally effectively enough to call it less than risky. And as their world crumbles, they're realizing, oh, can we not just let the kids at that digital technology in the name of art? And then understanding that the kids' solution to the carbon hoax is planting, purifying. Maybe the toxins have got the earth vibrationally agitated, and that's why it's a little hotter. It's not hotter, it's colder, guys. It's been colder for like 15 years now, ever since this bullshit started. And again, making Canadians pay a tax to combat something that nobody else is doing the same thing with, and then having a huge appetite, asking the public to support your decision based on your report. Poor children. Imagine thinking you should go into a planet right at the time it's being devoured. And these, by dirty ass malevolent spirits. And these fuckers want to create a one world government so that it's easy for them to interact as aliens. The 100-year presentation of the theory of aliens, which we're now, for fucking, I don't know how many weeks, probably like 158 weeks at least by now, we've been teased with disclosure every other minute. And just finish the project. Whatever you're working on right now is taking forever, and you're scrambling so hard. It's so hard to tolerate. You'd want a one world government to speak with on behalf of whatever you were building, most likely building, because the way that the cosmos functions, that humans aren't going to get to the cosmos until they can figure out domination, at least. So ultimately, you've got the one world government for the purpose of potentially interacting with the aliens, or you've got the one world government because you yourself are benefiting off the static of human slavery. Human slavery is what you're offering: psychological depletion, physical depletion, limited participation, just punished from the second we're born. This has been going on now. I lived through a time where it wasn't, and then it was everything. So when it wasn't, times were so polite. They were so innovative. They were so interesting. Everybody spoke about everything. And people flowed a lot nicer. So if you're going to sit there, Les Schwab, and say that you wish for innovative approaches and you're open to innovative approaches, well, take mine. Because in mine, everyone that has borrowed from the bank, everyone that owes the bank can still play around in it. Nobody loses their job, except for as we start buying out the debt infrastructure, they will. The debt infrastructure, and then eventually tax systems, those people are going to lose their jobs. And I have two ways out of my bank account. You either allow me to start digitally dispersing money through my account, or you allow me to start digitally dispersing money through my Proton wallet. I don't know which one you'd prefer. This Proton wallet seems to make more sense to my ass. Proton wallet, we don't need the bank. Banks would then be out of a job too. Yeah, we'd have to eventually severance pay that whole sector. And we'd have to severance pay that whole sector that was going to regulate and enforce the digital identity. The best part about this year is they're just going to move for it. They've failed to prove their reason for demanding such a thing. And they're just going to do it anyway. So funny. Like, it's too funny. It's a nice one. Least ideas is moving between them. Least ideas are moving between them. Times could not be worse. Hear a story today about a Palestinian genocide. Just a brutal story. One guy's hearsay at this point because there's no evidence. They haven't even bothered to produce a report of the cleanup or how that went, the cataloging of bodies. But they allegedly attacked a concert hall. And we don't even hear about it. Our news networks are still not even connected. Allegedly, this perfectly timed goon class of terrorists comes through, and they decide to kill a whole stadium full of children. But again, we busted you televising a war there and just running really horrific shit over a newsreel because it's easier to stage small pockets of frontline than it is to concoct a war. Especially when you guys are trying to talk to or create or perpetuate your consciousness in a robot. There's a few things it could be. It's just not here. And when we're here and we've accepted that the tax buck doesn't work, that project created megalomaniacs with huge grandiosity disorders. So look at how grandiose they all are. Okay, we care. We care a lot what you fucking think. We don't. Your stupid one model bullshit. Your models mean nothing. They have no resonance. They are completely disorganized. There's been so much extortion. Like I'd say of the, okay, let's call it 10 trillion maybe, 40 trillion, 300 trillion we'll say, the world just spent on this. The 300 trillion we just spent on this, how much got extorted? In total, they spent on the project about 14 trillion. The rest was looted in a great redistribution of wealth. They tried to reset an income generator so that the economy would have been limitless were they not so stuck in the old outdated fashion of lending money at an interest rate. You can't digitalize an economy, set yourselves a limitless sheet that just perpetuates through legal identity like mine can. And, like that's not the best use of digital. And then expect everybody just to build out this huge infrastructure so that everybody has everything in alignment. And what would you do? Just sit there and wait for them to fuck up? Like, do you sit there and wait for us to fuck up because we're all digitally aligned now? You've got, okay, so the beautiful internet comes out, and then you try and, from the get-go, try and demand every fucking action be held to account. Why? It's a harmless, interactive. You can't harm with your voice. So since the internet, we've tried to fucking whittle it down to hyperfixation, glorification of every action to the individual. Doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. This guy again. So much to learn, so much to know. And we're just fucking chasing rabbits through a shithole. Love me, the devil says. I want a home. Luciferians decided that they were going to take a planet on and call it home instead of just roaming through the cosmos, sucking the life force out of anything they can get their hands on. The destruction they have caused, not just here on Earth. Earth is way too big, way too powerful for them to even come close to altering or affecting at all. They haven't got anywhere near Earth's codes. But other little projects of gods were destroyed, left as barren wastelands. And it's just bogus. I'm having to watch Elon fail yet again. His rocket ships, they just keep failing, like was predicted. But again, they're just throwing the false prophets on right now because they hate prophecy so much. This guy is now prophesizing terror attacks. So we've got this tiny little seed story planted about 3 weeks ago, leading up to the inauguration. And Trump paid for his assassination attempt. Let me see what information I can get on the assassination attempt. Because now this guy's like, I'm predicting a terror attack. 21 major U.S. cities. Anyway, why wouldn't someone? Just to get you guys to shut up for a minute. You won't prosecute them anyway. You never prosecute terrorists. You give them nexus passes through immigration. Trump assassination. Who did it? Trump assassination attempt. Let's see. Couldn't be. I saw a flash of a guy at once as I heard the name Mitch McConnell. It couldn't be. Mitch McConnell. Who arranged the Trump assassination attempt? Obama? Whew. These guys are coming up obvious. Who? Okay. Anyone else? Michelle. Michelle was definitely in on it. Hillary. Hillary is pissed. Oof. Let's see what else. One of the big pharma guys. Don't know him. They're kind of on the sidelines. They didn't know anything about it and it threw them off. Oh yeah, that little guy. What's his name? The one that down in like Texas, I think he is. Young man. Ted Cruz? Oof. Thought he was Republican. Anything else? One more. Trump assassination. I'm trying to see if Trump knew. It was staged. It was staged. So did the Democrats really do it? Why did their names come up? They are friends. Trump is friends with them. Oh no, that's awesome. Anyway, moving on. Holy shit, dog. I knew it. That makes the most sense of all. They are connected through that fucking little side project of theirs. Let's see the truth about how much child rape have these motherfuckers pulled off. Who are the customers? There's been no evidence. What is the truth? Unspeakable. I'm seeing doctors. I'm seeing abortions, mutilations, test cultures. Where did the black market organ thing go? Thank God it's moving digital. Let them pursue digital organ regrowth. Can I look at the size of the horror? I need to know. It would help us to know. Key players. Why is China so involved? I'm trying to see the Hollywood Chinese connection with respect to the organs. The most damage was done in China, and I'm not saying the word Israel. It's a Nazi creation, that whole country. The idea of Israel is to stomp on Holy Land, fill it full of bad consciousness, because the vibration of holy people is so hard to disintegrate when you are dealing with the realm of harvesting the psychic. So let's see. Ukraine, the boats to New York, are these real stories? What happened through the orphanages is horrible. Did they hurt those children? I see a lot of kids really scared. How? Can you pay to murder in this world? Who would buy it? No. All right. Trump's connection? What's Trump's connection? Is he trying to help? He's trying to reestablish a new network up through Holland and Greenland for it? No. Obama? No. Africa? African president? Who is hiding the evidence? Where are the chiefs over this? Chief de-escalators? Just inept and hands tied, not knowing what to do? Burdened with evidence that's been suppressed? Blackmailed and implicated? Sad? What do they do along the networks? Participate? That was not nice. That was not good. That was not a good reading, so the picture porn industry is also hideous. Church groups. How come pedophilia is a cult thing? Is it a cult? How big is it? It dies in this season. That's the only message. Good. Okay, good. That's perfect. Aren't they fun? Isn't it fun to listen? Let's do Davos. They think they're getting away with it by distracting the public with Trump's inauguration. They're very proud of Trudeau. I bet. He's getting bonused. He's getting bonused. He was too liberating for the Canadians. The Canadians still saw him and felt liberation. That's why he's got to go. A reminder to get out and vote, or run, not vote, run for the elections is important. If we don't want to lose elections entirely, run for your government. A good way out is run for your government. They feel bad that they have fucked over the children with respect to digital art. They really do feel old and smelly amongst themselves. They feel disheartened that they didn't become the champions they saw themselves as. The women among them hate them. They're bored. They want trans. None of them even get joy at the beautiful surroundings they get to stay at. They know they sold their souls out, and Daddy's not giving them any glimpses either. Daddy promised them glimpses, and he can't give them nothing. It's really going to be a somber mood in there. They're still thinking about that bubble poem I wrote back in the days where I was confident and strong and could write. They feel bad they didn't solve the world's internet situation. They are fully aware they've done nothing to address poverty. They don't know where to travel. They have no plan, like I told you 6 weeks ago. They don't believe in their own shit anymore. They would rather see the digital economy through my wallet, because by this point they all know it went down. They know they have to go out and peddle all this bullshit on behalf of all these 9 genocidal maniacs. And they don't believe in it. It was so nice when that guy said today, 85% of allopathic medicine is fucked. We all can agree. It's time to strip that back to 15% and let it work on slings and broken skin. You're not even getting the nut cases. I told you that's being taken elsewhere. Hospitals have ruined people. Oh my God, so many people died in allopathic medicine. Oh, Nazi medicine. Anyway, it's nice to see things that I've said come out in the collective mindset, and that's why I keep doing this, because it still reaches the common knowledge bank. Together, we can still pursue things. So like I said, it's either go out through my legal identity at the bank and live within it. But I'm fine staying in my bank because it's password protected and nobody can get at that. for now, because the bank won't go anywhere overnight. We can't dissolve those relationships. The people that loaned from the bank and bought at those rates and did all that shit were loyalists to a T. And if we keep those institutional debts in place until they're ready to exit and ready to come live a more true experience, sorry, but we come here to see what species evolve. If you live a lifetime of 150 years or so, you can witness so many new species. It's incredible. Come on, let us have our godlike experience. We have to align to create new species, or we're going to get mangled sharks with huge ass fucking terror teeth. Or three-headed fish. God forbid. What a travesty. I want to read one more thing. What should we read? Behind Israel, Palestine, behind Ukraine, in North Korea. What should we read? A beach? We should read a beach somewhere where the kids are partying and having a great time. We should read Chrystia Freeland. We should make her the PM. That'll be fun. Watch her spasm and have her issues and feel compassion for her. Yeah, put her in. Wait now. Not that it's a fucking free and fair election. Not this round, not Canada. I could make some predictions for Trump's inauguration. Let's see. There again, they have to cause more terrorist threats before they pitch their digital tools to replace them or take care of them. Like, it doesn't matter how many police we put in and how much more they get and how digital and how robotic it all gets. The terrorism just keeps happening and it never gets solved. It's never good enough. It's like a Nigerian scammer. The last amount didn't quite cover it. Okay, so the reason why we're being pulled through this terrorist narrative yet again that never gets solved and never gets evidenced is because they're still so hell-bent on that model they're trying to perpetuate. Okay, let's undo the secrets behind the FBI, CIA, and Pentagon. So the alien crash that happened in the 50s, 60s, because they flinched and lost their magnetics. Is that a real story? What about the Eisenhower one, where they were too scared to give up nuclear? So they met these fucking two-bits instead of kept on the evolutionary track. No, it's really just dictator consciousness trying to live forever in a robotic form. These are houses for dead people's consciousness. It's an experience they pay for. They probably need tissues from young people to keep their cadavers alive. They constantly get infusions. Yeah. Hollywood. Is Hollywood coming from a different location than Earth? Is it beamed at us? Why is it based in blue light? Let's go back to the origin of the internet. I keep getting human creation, mesmerized by one's own creation. Can we get to the truths buried deep within it? Know how they're harnessing the vibrational frequencies, and learn how to use them. You gotta give it 50 years. Is the next 3,000 years on Earth harmonious? And what is the role of government? Something the humans laugh at. It's very gentle and playful. Okay, back to the Trump inauguration. Back to the Trump. Ooh. There's a lot going on in the school gyms. So I assume most students will be dragged out to watch it. He's such a doll. He loves being in the spotlight. But he doesn't really care about ceremonies and ceremonial stuff. He's smug. He's going to sit there smug like always. I'm looking at his speech. He's not feeling any joy in it. He's wondering how much he should get playful and give people a break. Might be a fun kind of circusy kind of a day. What are the cops instructed? They are there to intimidate the people, and they are not on high alert at all. I'm not sure if they're briefed to expect something, or they know the drill and they know their moves. They know they're going to have to execute something. The pressure is on for the globalists to produce another allegation of terror. Man, imagine doing a 30-year allegation of terror and never really producing a name. What does the CIA do to combat terror? Middleman type stuff here and there. Their own arms dealers turning on them mostly. What is Trump going to talk about? What are his issues? Let's see. He's coming for the American guns. He's going to blame school shootings, most of which have been staged. That's why they've been secretly planning the shootings, because they know how hard that's going to be. So there's going to be a school shooting in 2025 that's bigger than any of them have ever been. And they're coming after the farms. They really want people eating crickets. And the GenMod experiment failed, and the crops might spontaneously die. This could be an actual disaster, not all of the ones that have been staged over the last 25 years. Sorry guys, you work the weather, it's obvious. You got this machine, that machine, and those, and they all cause that. We've been through this. But the GenMod might kill the farms this year. They can send in self-annihilating technology. I think Bill Gates would like to see that and then have himself come to the rescue. So Trump is going to it's too late. We're going to have to plant better seeds or that's going to happen. Plant your own seeds again, farmers. Take a risk. Yeah. His interests are in the transportation mechanism. Remember, with the 5 lenders at the top, they have regulated the world through 5 channels: transportation, regulation, certification, administration, and communication. He's in transportation. He's worried about the Suez Canal. He knows about my Proton wallet and my bank account and my bloodline. He's seen it all. He's irreverent about God. Irreverent. Deep down. But he sees the political value in playing to the Christians. He's annoyed with it and he wishes it wasn't in the way. He feels religion gets in the way of things. He acknowledges the Christians, Jews, and Muslims. He doesn't see a big deal in any of it. All right. He'd like to get rid of the Pope. If he could, he'd swing at the Catholics, which makes sense. They traumatized him somehow as a kid. He had a trauma as a kid. He's going to be another Trudeau, and he's going to try and get Barron to run again, but we're probably going to have to deal with Justin's kid as well. And this North Carolina, the Northeast, makes him feel intimidated, even though he's from south of there. The established upper crust in the U.S. has always rejected him. Something about his businesses is going to come out. People talking about conditions, most likely. His son Eric is going to play a huge role. Most likely so is Ivanka. They're going to be hammering at us. They're probably going to do the soft launch suggestion that we need to battle an alien culture. They're going to propose a worldwide global effort to ward them off. They're going to give us the bad news that we've been enslaved by them. And it's going to be a bloodbath. If everything goes well, that's where they're going to take us. Is the war necessary? Is it real? I keep getting little children in schools. Need to stay connected to the earth, no matter what. Yeah, they're just looking for another genocide. You remember, genocides give off a lot of psychic energy. They need another genocide. And that would be, quote unquote, how to get it. But they're hoping people have a lot of babies before they do this because they need humans. Or they can't. Yeah, no, it's going to be bad. We better be careful. He wants a moon car. So that's going to be a big deal too, this whole going to the moon shit again. They expect to just yank the cream of the crop as soon as they spot them, like they've been doing since the 70s, and give them privileged access to whatever it is they're building. Too bad they got to keep it so quiet. The three, Russia, China, and the US, have a common agreement. The three guys, because they think their economies are the biggest. And together they're in a jeopardy that only Russia can help them out of. School lunches, there's going to be something with school lunches or a cafeteria. It's weird, I'm seeing all these shots of schools. What about the Proton wallet and the digital economy, the limitless digital economy? Yeah, people know when they've been had, and they're going to get smart and bleed it dry. They're not going to use it. There's no way they would trust hospitals or cops at this point, which is going to be epic. It's going to take about 25 years. Children are going to be highly organized. They're going to respond to this last attack on their schools, and they're going to be angry, and they're just going to be, as a matter of fact, buddy, I'm trying something different. Trump is willing to sit back and let it all happen. Let it all fall into place in a new energy. He's not stupid like the rest of them. He also wouldn't mind Chrystia Freeland. Let's go to him and Bill Gates at Mar-a-Lago. It's interesting to come face to face with a genocidal maniac because they know, they won't kill you directly, most likely. And that's what Trump was fascinated with. The smell of Bill, I'm right about that. It smells worse than a hospital. Because he's been around so many open wounds. You're not supposed to break the skin barrier. You're just not supposed to. You're gone really far off if that happens. Bill's got some gross ass eating habits. He's paranoid to touch anything. Let's see, what else? Sorry, I can't make eye contact. It's too distracting. Bill felt like blubbering like a baby. He felt so helpless. He didn't know what angle to push or what to do next. there was some contention between them on the Sky Project. Trump doesn't realize he's coming for the crops, or the threat level of Bill if he gets pissed off and puts canceling technology through the gen mod. Trump knows nothing about it. Bill Gates has been depressed since being outed as a genocidal maniac. Again, he's lost. He's got no direction, which is awesome. Life is going to be a slog for him for this next part because he's getting no respect. He's walking on eggshells. Trump was more interested in his golf game. It's like, does he not see him as a threat, or will he not acknowledge him because of his track record? He's thinking about prosecution, doesn't know how to go about it. Whether he thinks about the upsetting the balance, or he thinks about the tragedy of it all. Trump, again, just wants to clown with people. I think Trump would like to show his softer side and have some fun. I think he sides with the humans. He knows, like the rest of us, that we are exceptional beings. And when you have the realization beyond ask and you shall receive to realize, anyway, upper critical functioning, you realize that there's a lot of potential in this particular realm, and it is an honor to be human. So he might try and get some positive projects for really young children. He might just take a whole 4-year term about helping heal the kids and surprise everyone. He seems a little exhausted at the prospect of working with Bill Gates and trying to model it. And Bill Gates hammered Trump and tried to put him exactly where he wanted him, and Trump was disgusted. Good. Excellent. Trump and him thought about their two ways of seeing children, and Trump was pretty baffled that Bill sees children in such a Puritan manner. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed channeling for you tonight. So I'm not going to talk about anything other than just to try and remember the bright spots in history more often. Think back to when the ancient Spanish would light the night with campfires and entertain themselves by falling into ecstasy with each other. The dancing, the laughter, the music. It was just brilliant. Or another great culture, the Danish, their sweetness and their connection to the world of the small, and the way they used to put such love into the things they built and such craftsmanship. We definitely do have like a raw materials problem when it comes to elements of building. And if we want to see anything more than cement in the future, we got to put our noggins on that one. But there's a lot of campfires through history that would really like to see us get this organized and figured out. But this whole alien reel that's been coming at us for 150 years now and is now going to entice us into this war with it, it's just a genocide. That's their plan for depopulation. That's not depopulation, because they need people having babies. And they have many ways to make their own at this point. Little test tube chickens like the breastless, all breast chicken meat. What a sad reality. Sometimes when I get down, I try to connect with the part that brought me here and the why. Like, why would someone like me with so much to offer come at this time where we're all in stasis, waiting for a false terrorism allegation to finally die out for once? Just watch this whole new technology be, just the billions that these guys got, all fucking stolen. That's money that was ours. We don't need to pay you for this. Its infrastructure is minimal. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. I love you. Thank you for listening.